in reforming their military doctrine and practices. The President on Friday, while speaking at the graduation ceremony of Senior Course 45 of the Armed Forces Command and Staff College, Jaji, said the change in tactics had become necessary because the countries in the region are battling a mobile and elusive irregular force that disregards established rules of warfare. In a statement by his spokesman, Dele Alake, the President noted that adversaries facing countries in sub-regions were not conventional armies engaging in traditional battlefield warfare. The federal government has announced over 100% increase in fee for new students going to federal unity colleges, otherwise known as federal government colleges across the country. A circular bearing the breakdown of a fee titled Approved Fees / Charges for Federal Unity College First Term for New Students was signed by the Director of Senior Secondary Education, Hajia Binta Abdulkadir, and was issued to all principals of the Federal Unity Colleges from the Office of the Director of Senior Secondary Education Department of the Federal Ministry of Education with reference number ADF-120-DSSE-1. New students are expected to now pay 100,000 naira instead of previous 45,000 naira. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has called on residents of 11 local government areas of Niger State to prepare for impending flood in the coming months. In a statement issued by the head of Mina Operations Office, Zainab Saidu, in the state capital, she said predictions reveal that Mokwa, Shiroro, Lavun, and Borgu local government areas are in the category of high flood risk areas in the state and expected to experience high flooding within the months of July to November. As part of its constitutional mandate, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has debriefed 37 state coalition officers for presidential elections, scopes, and senatorial district coalition officers of the commission. Edika Michael reports that Chairman, Planning, Monitoring and Strategic Committee, Professor Rhoda Gumus, while declaring the exercise open, said the comprehensive review on issues and challenges as well as recommendations on the exercise will enhance planning for future elections.
It is the Commission's policy to organize post-election reviews after successful conduct and conclusion of any election, and the 2023 general elections cannot be an exception. The Chairman, Planning, Monitoring and Strategic Committees, Rhoda Gumus, says the meeting is to undertake a comprehensive review on issues and challenges as well as to learn critical lessons in planning for future elections.
It is the Commission's policy to organize post-election review after successful conduct and conclusion of any election, and the 2023 general election cannot be an exception. We are here to undertake a comprehensive review on issues, challenges, and to learn critical lessons in planning for future elections. The state coalition officers for presidential election scopes and senatorial district coalition officers are key players in conducting elections in Nigeria.
On his path, Independent National Electoral Commissioner Professor Mahmoud Yakubu reiterated the Commission's awareness over extreme challenges, circumstances by various and manual factors, while acknowledging concerns by the masses over result management at various levels.
It is practically unmanageable to invite all the coalition and returning officers for the 1,462 federal and state constituencies made up of 109 senatorial districts, 360 federal constituencies, and 993 state assembly constituencies. We therefore focused on the senatorial districts since they are bigger and cut across the other constituencies. The Commission is aware that as coalition and returning officers, you work under extremely challenging circumstances by tediously and manually completing designated forms as provided by law, and either moved them to the next level of coalition or concluded the process yourselves as returning officers.
The Director of Planning and Monitoring, Chima Duraku, added that the program is a platform to get clear understanding over factors that hinder the implementation of election procedures.
I think it's important to build the foundation that the powers that is vested on the Commission to conduct election, also in Section 106, empower the Commission to regulate its processes. And the post-election reviews that we do are anchored on the policy that was enacted by the Commission in 2017. This is not to say that there have not been post-election reviews since about 2011, but to do this in a systematic manner, the policy provided a framework on how this is to be done.
It is expected that the review meeting will identify areas of strength and weaknesses, as well as the necessary reforms needed for future elections. At the review meeting, Vice Chancellors of universities, top national electoral commissioners met to review incidences that occur during elections and what could be the solutions in the next elections. Edikan Michael, Global TV News.
A former Minister of Aviation, Senator Stella Odua, has on Friday arraigned before the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, over allegations of graft. Odua, who served as Aviation Minister from 2011 to 2014, is facing trial over an allegation that she laundered public funds to the tune of about 5 billion naira in connivance with 8 others. But the court on Friday ordered the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation to take over the prosecution of Odua, her ex-aide, Gloria Odita, and 7 others charged with laundering about 5 billion naira. The presiding judge, Justice Inyang Eko, gave the order after Odua and other defendants were arraigned before, and they pleaded not guilty to the 25-count charge brought against them by the EFCC. Charged alongside Odua and Odita in the 25-count charge marked FHC-ABJ-CR-316-2020 are Nwosu Emmanuel Namdi, Chukwuka Irene Chinyere, Global Offshore and Marine Limited, Tip Top Global Resources Limited, Crystal Television Limited, Subora International Limited, and China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation, Nigeria Limited. On Friday, Justice Eko said the controversy surrounding the prosecution of the case informed his decision for the AGN to take over the case. The National Executive Council (NEC) has agreed on palliative measures for Nigerians through a cash transfer program that will immediately be implemented by the federal, state, and local government towards ameliorating the suffering of the poorest of the poor in the country. This is coming because of the recent hike in petrol prices occasioned by the petrol subsidy removal. The decision was reached at the meeting held at the council chambers of the State House in Abuja. Prince Adigoke has the details.
The decision of the National Economic Council is coming because of the recent hike in petrol prices to up to 617 naira per litre, resulting from the removal of the petrol subsidy. NEC, while considering integrity tests on national social registers, noted that it will be reviewed at the state level to ensure cash transfers reach the most vulnerable in the society who do not have access to bank accounts.
What we have put out here about what a menu of things that will encourage the tiers of government to implement in accordance with their respective fiscal space and fiscal capacities, the federal, the state, and the local government. And we did highlight as well that there is quite some fiscal surplus that will be coming to the states and local government and the federal government. And there we've suggested it would be nice that you can implement cash transfers subject to your financial capacity.
The Council has also suggested a 6-month cash award policy for public servants to ease their living and transportation expenses, while urging governors to reduce the cost of governance in their various states.
We also
talked about ensuring that we paid our public servants outstanding liabilities, whichever way, if it's their pension, if it's their gratuities, if it's their leave bonuses, and so on and so forth. And that is a front burner item because we believe that this would immediately bring succor to our people.
To address the cost of living, the governor of Bauchi said food items, including grains and fertilizers, are to be distributed by state governments at a subsidized rate or no cost after it is received from the Central Bank of Nigeria, Federal Ministry of Agriculture, and National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA.
To all the sectors and all the segments of the society, food is a key component of what is on the table in terms of food security, the escalation of prices of foodstuff, and so on and so forth. And it was gladdening because NEC engaged with NEMA, with the CBN, and indeed with the Ministry of Agric. And we have some buffer stock that is already there with NEMA, and the Council has directed the states will be allocated immediately.
Recall that 2 days ago, the federal government said it will review the plan for a monthly 8,000 naira transfer to 12 million of the poorest households in the country for 6 months in a bid to cushion the effects of the removal of fuel subsidy following the backlash it generated among Nigerians. From the Presidential Villa, Abuja, Prince Adegoke, Global Television News.
The Kaduna State Ministry of Health has confirmed cases of diphtheria disease in some communities in Kafanchan, Jama'a local government area of the state. The confirmation was sequel to several reports about residents in Takau ward, Kafanchan A and Kafanchan B wards exhibiting symptoms like difficulty in breathing, high fever, cough, general body weakness, sore throat and neck swelling. It was on Thursday reported that the outbreak of the strange disease in some parts of Kafanchan, which killed about 10 children aged between 3 and 10 years. However, the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Sani Uba, Muhammad Lawal Shehu, in a statement early Friday morning explained that upon hearing about the unfortunate loss of the lives in the affected communities, the state governor immediately directed the state Ministry of Health to send an emergency team to investigate the case. The statement said a preliminary report from the ministry revealed that the outbreak of diphtheria in Kafanchan had its first recorded case in the beginning of July 2023. Governor Sani, while commending the health officials for their prompt response to the health emergency, urged them to continue to carry out their task diligently to ensure that the disease is contained and subsequently eradicated. The Senate has called on the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, and the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, to immediately suspend the World Bank Fund NMMP Phase 2 in order to undertake a comprehensive review of the procurement criteria to prioritize local manufacturing and assembling. The Senate also mandated TCN and NERC to look towards the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN intervention funds, or engage the African Export Afrexim Bank. This followed a motion sponsored by Senator Victor Ume on the urgent need to project local meter manufacturers in the ongoing national mass metering program of the federal government. This is as the House of Representatives at plenary on yesterday took steps to stop the planned electricity tariff hike by distribution companies discussed. Consequently, the House urged the National Electricity Regulatory Commission not to approve any increase in the electricity tariff in Nigeria. Ume had said that the duty of the industry procurement regulators in every developing economy first and foremost is to protect its local manufacturers and would only try to augment importation of goods and services where there is a clear-out cut between local production and consumption. This is the midday news on Global Television coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We'd like to remind you that we are on Star Times channel 276 and urge you to follow us across all social media platforms at Global TVNG. When the news returns, Nasima advocates strong free trade zones. Stay with us for this and more after this break. Welcome back, and thank you very much for staying with us. The national president of the Nigerian Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industries, Mines and Agriculture, Dele Oye, has called for increased public-private sector collaboration to strengthen free trade zone operation in the country. Speaking on the sidelines of the emergency meeting on free trade zones operation organized by the Nigerian Economic Zones Association in collaboration with the Nigerian Export Processing Zones Authority and Oil and Gas Free Zones Authority, Oye noted that stronger free trade zones would enhance economic growth. Oye, who lauded the initiative, said the meeting would provide a fine platform to address the pressing challenges faced by free trade zones operators, which would enhance their operations and improve the economy. Reiterating the importance of a strong and efficient trade policy in the country, the NASIMA president noted that the policy will enable businesses to compete successfully in the global market. An index designed to track turns in U.S. businesses cycle fell on the 15th straight month in June, dragged down by a weakening consumer outlook and increased unemployment claims, marking the longest streak of decreases since the lead-up to the 2007 to 2009 recession. The conference board on Thursday said its leading economic index, a measure that anticipates future economic activity, declined by 0.7% in June to 106.1, following a revised decrease of 0.6% in May. The decline was slightly greater than the median expectation among economists in the Reuters poll for a 0.6% decrease. The conference board said the contraction in the LIE is accelerating, falling 4.2% over the last 6 months compared to 3.8% between June and December in 2022. A federal judge has scheduled ex-President Donald Trump's trial for alleged mishandling of classified documents for spring term next year. Judge Alan Cannon set the case for May 20. Trump had wanted the trial postponed until after November 2024 presidential election. The high-profile case will begin with the election campaign in full swing. Trump, 77, faces serious charges over storage of sensitive files at his Florida home. Prosecutors say the former president illegally kept secret documents at his Mar-a-Lago estate after he left office and obstructed government effort to retrieve them. On Friday, Judge Cannon, a Trump appointee, said the 2-week trial will take place in the Fort Pierce, Florida district. Trump pleaded not guilty to the 37 federal counts during an arraignment in Miami last month. Taiwan is investigating a possible leak of official documents, including diplomatic cables and classified reports on the island's sensitive bid to join a global trade pact, according to 2 officials familiar with the probe. One official said initially finding shows some parts of the document posted on online message board Acon and reviewed by Reuters are real bids were forged within given details. A second official said parts of the documents appeared to be authentic and they could not immediately determine the origin of the document shared on the internet. The officials asked not to be identified due to sensitivity of the matter. In response to Reuters' questions, Taiwan's National Security Bureau said it's aware of suspected government documents posted online and that the relevant government authorities were investigating and dealing with the source of such information. After 2 unsuccessful attempts, Team Nigeria's men 4 times 100 meters relay squad will depart Lagos for Cotonou, Benin Republic today in search of a ticket to the Budapest 2023 World Championship. 2 weeks ago in Lomé, Togo, Nigeria's 4x100 meters men team ran 38.72 seconds to move a step closer to the qualification spot. They improved 38.56 seconds during the semi-final of the Deji Tinubu Lagos series on Friday at Yaba College of Technology, only to flop in the final of the event, running 38.78 seconds to remain in the 17th position of the qualification race. Their women counterparts succeeded at Yaba Tech, grabbing a 4x400 meters ticket to bring the number of relay events the country has secured so far. Team Nigeria has secured qualification in the women's 4x100 meters and the mixed relay. However, another opportunity is open for the men's 4x100 meter relay in Cotonou on July 20. President of the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, AFN, Tonobo Kowa, told The Guardian yesterday that the men 4x100 meter squad will depart for Cotonou today. For more on sport, Fidelis is standing by.
The Super Falcons of Nigeria have held Olympic champions Canada to a goalless draw in their Group B opener at the ongoing FIFA Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand. A 58th minute save by Super Falcons goalie Chiamaka Inandozie at the Melbourne Rectangular Stadium denied Canada's skipper Christian Sinclair the chance of becoming the first player to score in 6 World Cups. The Falcons will have to do without World Cup debutant Deborah Abiodun, who was shown a straight red card in the 98th minute after consultation with video assistant referee for a bad tackle. Deborah will not miss the next 2 games of the Falcons and will only be back to action if the Super Falcons make it out of the group stage. The Falcons will next play co-host Australia, who sits top of Group B after winning their first match against Northern Ireland yesterday. And the other Friday matches, Spain thrashed Costa Rica 3-0 and Switzerland pipped Philippines 2 goals unreplied. From the sports desk of Global Television, Fidelis Nguema reporting.
And that's it on Global TV's Midday News. Remember, we're on StarTime channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms at Global TV NG. I am Priscilla Obasi, and I appreciate your time with me. Good afternoon.